August 10th, 2019. On my commute home from work, I was pulled over by a police officer. The officer emerged from his vehicle and approached my car. When he arrived at my window, he asked for my license and registration. I informed him that I keep my wallet in my book bag, so that he would not be concerned that I might be reaching for a firearm. I reached into my bag to grab my wallet, and when I looked back, the officer's gun was drawn and aimed right at me. Moments later, I was placed in handcuffs.
When African Americans express a grievance that they have about their treatment in America, there is always a knee-jerk reaction to silence the conversation before it can even be had. America today is still dealing with the symptoms of generations of social injustice.
I was taken to a psych unit and forcibly sedated. Later, a security officer woke me and hauled me to a room where I was hastily bound to a bed. I laid for hours without water or access to a bathroom.
Although human societies across space and time have been structured differently, we find the fundamental patterns of thought inherently similar in regards to the systemic oppression of the majority through a small ruling class. Throughout recorded history, we have seen hundreds of martyrs go against these status quos, disrupting and in some cases destroying those established systems of control for the greater good of a new order that would promote social justice.
Throughout my traumatic experience, I remembered the words of the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Because of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy, the ideals of liberty and justice for all will live to stand the test of time, further crafting the possibilities of utopia and freedom that we fight for today.
To follow in the footsteps of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one cannot sit idle while the cries for help become the static between media outlets.
Though we may not deal with the same level of discrimination as we did in previous decades, many of us still battle prejudice and police brutality. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. left an impact on countless lives. I want his words to live through me. After all, a man with a vision is a man with a purpose.